What's up everyone, Clayton here, and today we're back with another Skyrim build. This build is called the Guardian. Build was suggested by Lightning Guardian 331. He told me to make a Guardian build, and I kind of just went off from there. So it might not be exactly what he commented, but I kind of made a Guardian build, sort of like it, I think. Anyways, this build is an Argonian. I don't really got much of a backstory, but he was very poor when he was young. He lived in Blackmarsh with his family. As he grew up, he decided he'd become a mercenary to help pay for his family, get food and stuff like that. But when his family found out that he become a mercenary, they pretty much disowned him because they did not like him having that profession, because he went around killing people because people paid him to. And they disowned him, and he was not allowed back at their home. So not knowing where to go, he headed to Skyrim to use his skills as being a mercenary. And one day he hopes to return back to Blackmarsh with money for his family, and maybe for them to take him back and not really disown him anymore. But yeah, this build is kind of a tankier kind of a build, and kind of a role playing, because you want to play as an Argonian and you kind of want to like be a mercenary for hire. So the main skills for this build is restoration, since Argonians are very good at using restoration spells, especially since their active ability is a thing that regens your health really fast, and restoration is probably your main skill for this build. You got smithing, heavy armor, block, and one-handed. Like I said, restoration is probably one of your main skills, so you want to put points into that, especially regeneration, which makes your spells do more, and for respite to make yourself regain stamina when you cast healing spells. Also Ward of Jorpson, because you'll be using some wards as well. Smithing, you want to be able to craft your armor. When I play this build, I use iron armor since you're poorer. You can't really afford better armor. If you guys don't really want to play it that way, go ahead and make better armor. For heavy armor, you want to make sure you get some points in there, so you're more tanky, and conditioning, so you can run fast and the armor not weigh you down. You're going to be using block every so often, so you want to put some points in there depending on how much you use it. And one-handed, you'll be using maces, so you want to make sure you get as many points in there so you can increase your damage as much as you can. So pretty much the gameplay of this build is that you're going to have a mace in one hand, and your offhand is kind of what you guys got to decide. I use a lot of staffs for range. You can have a mace in one hand and then a staff in the other hand to shoot people out at range. And once they get closer, you can switch between three things. You can have a healing spell in the offhand, so when you get hit, you can automatically heal and regain your health. You can have a shield in your offhand, so you can bash people and block when you need to. And if you're against a mage, you can also use a ward spell, since you're really adept using restoration. You're not really good at destruction, so that's why you use a staff instead of a destruction spell. But this also means you don't really need that much magicka. You can kind of go more towards health or stamina. So for armaments and weapons, and that's the same thing, armor and weapons, you can kind of use whatever you feel like. I use maces because I don't really use maces very much, and I think they're really good for this build, since you can hit them and it reduces their armor, or it goes through their armor if you have the special perks for maces, and I never really use maces much. I think they're pretty cool. And like I said, if you want to roleplay as a poor Argonian, you can use iron armor or worse armor, and it can be kind of a challenge too. And like I said, you can play around with how you do things. If you guys want to go from range a little bit more, have a staff in one hand and then a mace in the other. And if you want some spells that would help against undead restoration, there's also some spells in Dragonborn DLC, like Stendarr's Aura, which can go around you and hurt undead, so that's another way you can play things. You just kind of have to figure out what you got to do with your offhand. That's why I kind of think it's more of a paladin build, because most paladins build you have is a mace in one hand or a one-handed weapon, and in the offhand you have a healing spell to keep yourself alive. And for magicka and health and stamina, I talked about a little bit before, since you're only going to be using restoration, you don't need to have many points in the magicka, but health is what you mainly want to focus on, and stamina second. You just want to make sure you have enough magicka pool to constantly cast healings and keep up your wards. And yeah, so that's pretty much the build. I hope you guys enjoyed. It's kind of a little bit different. It's more of a role-playing build, and I hope you guys enjoy it, because I kind of enjoyed playing it. And yeah, if you guys want to check out these two videos here, make sure to do that. And also, next week, I think I'm having a special idea or a special thing for next Friday's builds. So make sure to tune in for that. And like I said in the past couple of videos, there might not be very many videos coming out this next week because of finals and stuff like that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. And if you guys have any build suggestions, make sure to leave them down in the comments down below. So this is Clayton, signing off.